Righto, welcome back to the Maximum Cricket Podcast. My name is Munter, and we are here with Lugsy and Jacko. This is episode number 20. Boys, TMC is officially a start. We have a good one for you today also. We're talking meaningless T20 series between England, Pakistan, and India and Australia. Speaking of India, Mankads. We're also talking T20 auctions, drafts, and do we rate them or not? I bet the South African captain doesn't. And finally, on Coach Corner, the age-old debate returns, reverse cut or hands down. But first, sit back and relax, grab yourself your favourite lolly, because it is Snack of the Week.
Spank Maximum, the first of this contest. Oh, that is brilliant. It's a Hero Maximum. On the ground, down the ground, another Hero Maximum.
Boys, Snack of the Week last week. Good personally to get the W. It'd been a bit of a lean patch for myself. A few third place finishes that went under the radar a bit there. But yeah, I think it was you, Jacko. You touched on the copper kettle barbecue chips were always going to be a sort of a favourite in the end. And I sort of got a 49% share of the lead. Then I think it was your salt and vinegar really sort of second place by quite the distance. And Lugsy, your other couple kettles sort of struggled a little bit there.
Yeah, and rightly so. They're a poor chip.
Didn't really sell it, did you?
No, I didn't. And I think I've really, as I say, I've decided to learn from Jacko and really take this into a bit of a sort of more traditional way, my snacking, and just go with snacks I like and enjoy. Because last week I didn't. That was chosen for me, unfortunately. Hushy mishap, but I did think Jacko would get the win, but as you've both touched on, he sort of knew what the crowd wanted there, and you got the win.
100%. Just quietly, Simon, there's something we need to keep an eye on that's sort of been raised midweek, and that's a certain host, significant other, voting with 3 separate Instagram accounts on the TMC polls.
Yeah.
So yeah, we might just. I mean, it obviously wasn't that close this week, but yeah, next close one, if Matt comes in on top, we just might need to count back. Just something to keep an eye on.
I can confirm that was the only time that has happened. And in the past, to be fair, and we're obviously talking about my lovely wife, she's probably actually voted for you guys more than myself.
Yeah, that is true.
In the past, so
Nicole, noted fan of my snacks.
Yeah, she quite likes the chocolate. I think that was sort of where I was heading, where we went this week's sort of categories. We had lollies, chocolate, and biscuits, and it really sort of became a 2-horse race pretty early on. And chocolate sort of and lollies. Lollies were sort of pipped in the end, but it wasn't through lack of trying from chocolate fans, as my lovely wife really wanted some chocolate in the household and sort of voted 3 times to try and get over the line, but it wasn't to be. But I managed to get some chocolate in the house, so it's a win-win all around.
Win-win.
So this week, boys, lollies, as I said. Now I was pretty excited for this personally, as probably in terms of snacks, lollies really. I love my lollies, I really do. I have a real sweet tooth, and I'm pretty sure like once a bag gets open, it's getting finished pretty shortly. So much so, I was pretty nervous through the supermarket experience, just all the options. I guess I was starting to think about like what snack would win.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I was starting to lose myself a little bit, and I thought, what does Munter feel like? What do I feel like? And I went with the favourite of mine. I've had these a few times. The jet planes, which famously I do tend to buy them on the way from home. And I sort of live about 20 minutes out of town, and quite often that bag is finished by the time I get home. But I managed to hold on for tonight, so I'm pretty happy with that. I don't know if I'll get the win, but I'll enjoy it nonetheless. Yeah,
and I mean that's what Snack of the Week's about, isn't it? Is your own enjoyment, and yeah, if you get a win, you get a win. Yeah, I went a different route. Went the dairy with their $2 lolly bag section, and came away with a lovely sour Coke bottle.
Oh,
which is right up there in terms of the lolly hierarchy.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes, 1-1, if not 1-2, sort of. Yeah, very good. Sort of that one you save for last if you buy a $2 mixture. You sort of really delay that satisfaction. So, yeah, lovely wee bag of sour Coke bottles for myself, and very, very happy with them.
Yeah, that is a terrific choice. I think, as you said, Munter, you're a noted lolly fan, and I have to honestly say I am too. I'm probably looking at maybe six days this year I haven't had lollies. and that's been quite generous. I never used to be a fan of the old pick and mix from the supermarket, but without fail, every day I leave work and I head either straight to New World to get a wee pick and mix for the walk home, or if I can be bothered, I'll head down to Pack and Save, which is a bit further, but have a wee coconut rough sort of in there pick and mix, and occasionally I'll slide that in as the cheaper one, or occasionally I'll just pay the full price.
Yeah.
But anyway, when pick and mix were ruled out today, I sort of wanted to go down a slightly different route, because I don't think quite often people realise this is an option in the bag, and that is the crocodile.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good.
So I think
Very good.
Yeah, if you're getting a pick and mix, you've got to put at least sort of 2 to 3 crocodiles in, maybe one orange, one purple, one red. But they come in a nice package. They're only $1.60. I don't often see them at New World and Pack and Save, but they're always in Countdown. You only get about 10 in there, which is quite nice, because as you say, once a bag's opened, it's full stop there. That's all we're being needed. Disgustingly, they still say it's 4.5 servings, which it is a disgrace. It is, in fact, one serving.
Yeah, maybe half a serving.
Imagine doing that in four and a half goes.
Yeah, I mean that's a disgrace. But I didn't know if it would get the win, but I really just wanted to make people aware that this was an option. The wee $1.60 bag of crocodiles.
So it was a bag sort of crocodiles, was it?
Yeah, so this is
Okay,
so it's obviously it is in the pick and mix form. You can get
I've seen that. Yeah.
But this is actually available in the packet, which as I said, I wasn't sure everyone was aware of, and I wanted to let the snackers out there know that it is an option.
Just on pick and mix, I know we sort of ruled that out today, but obviously massive fan of pick and mixes. And do you know one of the issues of a crocodile in a pick and mix is it just takes up too much room?
Yeah,
that's probably that's the one. Once you start getting 3 or 4 crocodiles, that's taking up room for other snacks. So that's the one issue. But what sort of favourite pick and mixes do you guys run?
I do always have a couple of crocodiles. I also love to have a few spiders.
Yeah. South spider, very, very good.
Yeah, couple of jet planes, couple of Coke bottles. So sort of we've got all the bases covered of what I go for.
Tell you what I don't mind in the pick and mix is just 2 to 3 juicy caramels.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is not... I am a huge anti-juicy caramels.
Wow.
That was my mum's favourite lolly is the old juicy caramel. So occasionally if I'm in a giving mood and I'm staying in at the old girls, I'll bring her home a couple.
Yeah, I quite like the volcanoes.
Yeah, big fan of volcanoes. I like the sherbet bricks.
Oh yeah,
like the red sherbet bricks. They're
actually low key a lot of people's favourite lolly. Like when you're talking your $2 bag from the dairy.
Yeah, I was weighing up between the Coke bottle and the sherbet brick actually.
Yeah, I think you went with the right option, to be fair. Just for the public sort of thing, like the sour Coke bottles, I mean, they are a massive favourite, especially in this country.
See what our dairy's got, and it looks like they've got a sour raspberry and Coke bottle, which probably going back for tomorrow night.
Yeah.
That'll be shut the gate. That'll be...
Yeah. I don't know if you boys know of this lolly, and I don't know what it's actually called. I think a lady at work has a lolly jar in one of the theatres. So naturally I'm in that theatre quite a bit. And there's these lollies, they're a pink bowl. They're mainly chocolate with a little like chewy thing in the middle. You guys are aware what I'm talking about? Because I was going to go to New World and grab that because they are an exceptional lolly.
Interesting. I don't know if I have. I'll have to. Maybe if I've seen it, I could.
Next time we do lollies, I'll bring that to the table just again to get that public aware.
Simon's just an advocate and snack of the week at the moment.
It's like a snack awareness sort of thing for Simon, just making sure everyone's aware.
Well, I thought you were doing a great job, Jacko, of sort of just traditional good solid snacks, and I wanted to sort of join you in that mould.
Yeah. Bloody good.
The boys have got the competitive juices out the way, and now we're actually sort of like on the path of what the snack of the week is all about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm certainly going to, now that Nicole sort of got her free, I'm going to create about 35 burner accounts. So, my votes will be skewed a bit.
Oh, too easy. Right, shall we move on to some cricket? We'll rattle through some of these T20s before we talk about some of the bigger issues at play. So obviously, we're getting dangerously close to the T20 World Cup, which means international teams are stockpiling T20 games at pace, and no one is doing that more than England and Pakistan, who are 3 games into a 7-game T20 series. I repeat, a 7-game T20 series. I mean, this is like NBA playoff sort of jobs. Do you think we get fizzed up for a game 7 of a T20 series like the NBA, or is that just not possible?
Like, yeah, if it's 3-3. But I don't know if it will be. Yeah, that's the sort of thing with a cricket series is like if you're down 4-0, you've actually still got to play the last 3 games.
Yeah, that's a very good point, actually.
Yeah. Imagine that 4-0 down in the NBA and you've got to play the last 3 just in case.
Just for money.
Yeah, surprises the owners haven't actually decided that.
Yeah. Yeah. The biggest thing, 7's probably too many, especially not in Australia. Leading up to this World Cup, I can't. Like, obviously, touring Pakistan again's been fantastic for the game. I think everyone can say that when Aussie went back there, it was like incredible. Their fans have obviously missed it, so like lovely to see cricket back there. But I don't think 7 games in Karachi are preparing you for a fucking quick flat one at the Wacker or Optus Stadium in Perth. Are they? Like, maybe if it was 7 games in Aussie as a warm up, you'd be like, yeah, sweet. Like, you're getting bulk reps in on similar playing conditions, but yeah, I just don't think Karachi is going to be very similar to the T20 final at the MCG.
I mean, 100%. And I had that as a point for the Aussie India series, which is probably even worse because you've actually got an opportunity to play in Australia for that. But it sort of proves that like these boards are more interested in making money than like winning stuff.
Yeah.
That did massively jump out as to why this Aussie India series. You'd think, like, I know the board, obviously, yeah, you've nailed it there, but you'd think the players would have been like, can we just go over there, please? Like, can we start this campaign and
let's get the ball rolling, sort of thing. I know, exactly. So I'll rattle through the 3 games so far in England, Pakistan, I guess the story. So, like, game 1, England won that pretty comfortably. Alex Hales making a 39 ball 50. 3 years since he last played for England. It's pretty chat. Game 2, England got 199 and lost by 10 wickets. So there you go. Babar and Rizwan, 100. Babar and Rizwan, 2 half centuries in a row. That's, 203 for none, I think, is a world record, I believe, which is just quite something. And then game 3, England got 220. Ben Duckett, Harry Brook, probably 2 guys that might not even be in England's number 1 team, absolutely pumping it. And then Mark Wood coming back, bowling, taking 3 for 24, bowling absolutely rapid in his first game back from elbow surgery. I believe his second over back, his speeds were 151, 156, 152, 154, 154, and 151. That's quick. That is absolutely quick.
Is rapid.
What out of those stories, what stands out for you guys?
Yeah, plenty of time to come back from that 200 for none, I reckon, for England. I mean, obviously, I think one of one is the return of Mark Wood. Really just lovely stuff to see. And I think it's starting to set this World Cup for maybe, could this be like maybe the quickest World Cup we've ever seen? I mean, we're going to have the Aussie boys that all bowl rapid. Pakistan have got a couple that bowl into that 150s. England have got their couple. The Indian quicks can get it up there. We've got Lockie. Yeah, I mean, we could be looking at a lot of quick bowling. Hopefully, just increasing the spectacle of this World Cup, which is going to be brilliant. How good
is fast bowling? I would love to see 160. Just give me 160, surely.
We might get it too.
Yeah, especially in Aussie. Yeah, I think the big thing I've noticed, because obviously you sort of said they were a bit meaningless, these games, which they probably, especially from our side of the world, it's just tough to get interest with the times they're on. But they are probably pretty important, these last few 2020s, for the sides, gathering a bit of momentum and sort of working out their best 11 before this World Cup, because she's dangerously close now. I think, when you look at both these series and it's just such it's going to be a very open World Cup, I think.
Massive.
Like, it's just the biggest thing because I've only seen a few highlights or tried to get highlights of all the games just to sort of keep an eye on things. Every team's just got players that can get not just like 50 or 40. We're talking like 70, 80 or 30 and 40 balls. Like, the amount of guys that clean hit at the moment is just insane. Like that run chase where Babar and that got 200 together. The amount of clean hitting, like even someone gets 70, it's like 6 or 7 sixes, and they like clear the rope by a mile. So it's just how open it will be, just because there's so many guys that strike it so cleanly now. You only takes one of them to go off, and you've won a game of cricket.
100%.
So I think that's a big one. And then, as you say, the fast bowling as well. It's probably, we've touched on it one of the earlier episodes, of just how fun it is to watch someone bowling fast. And it seems to be coming back a bit. Like, we grew up with your Lee and Akhtar and Donald and that, and it sort of felt like maybe you guys weren't bowling as quick for a while, but now it looks like it's back again with a good crop of cricketers all bowling pretty quick. Yeah,
it's a good point you raised there, Simon, about the I guess the depth of, well, maybe not the depth, but the amount of teams that could possibly win the World Cup. Well, I think 7 teams could actually win it. I think, which is quite ridiculous, because you've got to add Sri Lanka in there because they won the Asia Cup. I mean, we're a chance. South Africa, all 4 of these teams are a chance. That's 7 teams, which is quite something when you think about it. I think every team's got strengths, but every team has flaws also.
As you said, a lot to like, and I think it's gotten to that point where anyone's gonna win it on their day. T20 cricket's always sort of been that, but I don't think there's ever been a tournament that's looked this wide open going into it. So yeah, very, very exciting time to be a cricket fan, and lovely it's on our side of the world, so we're going to get to watch it all.
Beautiful. It's going to be some big. You've got some big things coming from the TMC crew, so keep an eye on that. So yeah, just on the Aussie India as a series, like there's 2 games have gone. I think by the time this podcast comes out, the 3rd one will be done. So we won't talk about what's happened so far. It's 1-1 anyway. But I guess there's a few stories, and I want to get your take on them, see which one is like the biggest story. So I've got here. It's like Cam Green is a freak and probably going to go for like an IPL record. Can't even make the squad. We've got Tim David I've never seen this much hype for a player making their debut since like LeBron James. And last one is just impromptu out, not out, DK's rude lid.
I'll start the out and not out. Yeah, out. Get a Missouri, get a Grey Nix maybe.
Is this just me? I mean, I saw this was really doing the rounds quite a bit on your
cricket. Like if you say you sort of rate that.
No. I just I sort of seem to believe Sangakkara quite a while ago ran actually a sort of quite similar one.
Yeah, and he would have been dragged.
That's why you're tired. Yeah. That's why you were tired.
I saw most of the feedback on Twitter for some reason did seem to be good. Described as super cool was a lot of the headlines I was seeing, which when something's been described as super cool, you can almost guarantee it's not. But yeah, I automatically did think to Sangakkara. I thought used it back in the day, a similar type.
It's kind of like a race car or like a BMX sort of helmet, just in the wrong sport. I chucked it up on the Instagram, and there was about a 60-30 split of out.
Who's going to be the 3rd grade battler that rocks up with one this year, you reckon, club cricket?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Someone more.
This is probably back to our conversation about like coloured gloves and coloured. Like, you've got to be good. You have to be good.
Just a side note on that, we had a bloke show up to our pre-season training wearing a bright orange Sunrisers Hyderabad helmet. Couldn't really justify signing him because we wouldn't have got him in March.
That's tough.
Struck it well though.
Oh, you'd hope so. He's a professional cricketer.
It'd be great if he covered up the wee emblem as well. We sticky tape on.
Yeah, just taped it up. Yeah, that does.
Just letting you know, boys, I am still available. I will still wear our club kit.
That does bring another sort of question of like, what helmet can you actually like sort of get away with taping? It's like an orange one. You're probably guessing it's like this in Canterbury. Like you tape up a red helmet, like it's fucking pretty obvious where you got that from.
Why are we taping them up? Like it's fucking like it's pretty obvious. Like you said, like just own it, man. like why are you ashamed that you played for Canterbury?
Is there a slight I don't know if this is why some guys do it, but is it slightly like a respect thing? Like if I wear this fully, with the Canterbury emblem, I want to be playing for Canterbury at the time. And if I'm playing down in club cricket, I'm maybe not earning it at the time. Is there a respect thing to it? Or
Yeah, I think like the current players will just wear there's no drama. Sort of ex-players, maybe if that's the only helmet they've got, might tape it up.
Maybe for some people they only got one game and they're like embarrassed and sort of like they don't want anyone to actually know they did make it. Now they're just back down playing club cricket.
Mine's deep in the garage.
Yeah.
It's tough. Eh? It's not like it's a Volts one where it's like a normal sort of colour. It's pretty bright red, I'd imagine. Eh?
Yeah, that's not coming out anytime soon.
Maybe on the piss once you've retired, but
oh yeah, I retire. I wear it taped up.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to touch on anything else? India, Australia.
Interesting. Cam Green didn't make the World Cup squad. I suppose purely just viscerally, I think he should be there.
Just talent-wise, eh?
Yeah, he's big. He bops it. He can bowl. He's going to be Aussie's 3-format player for the next 15 years, so why not have him in your squad? But yeah, obviously they've sort of not done that because they probably don't want any calls of Cameron Green to open the batting over Aaron Finch. Sorry.
That's tough, eh? That's tough, eh? How much is he, how much realistically is he going to go for in the IPL? We're talking, this could be a record.
Yeah, potentially all of it.
This is the thing that makes him not making the squad interesting, because it feels like it's not going to be far away till he potentially is considered one of the most valuable players in T20 cricket. And then we're going to look back and it was only 2 months ago he couldn't make the Aussie side. But he could be just an absolute staple going forward. So it's just interesting they couldn't even find a spot for him in that squad. Yeah, it was good. I'm glad you went with him. Is there anything else we should touch on when all we had touched on was the helmet? Good tough series for Pat Cummins to come back to, I'll tell you that. Missed the old New Zealand games and then gets the call up to go to India and took a bit of a pumping in that first ODI. It was the same.
India tough.
Yeah, same things I was sort of noticing with that England-Pakistan series. I think it was Pandya whacking it. It was just, again, in those series, just how many guys were just hitting sixes with such ease. As I say, guys, 70 off 30 for Pandya, 5 sixes. All these guys can just clear the fence so easily now.
Pandya's so good.
Oh, he's class, eh?
Yeah, very, very good player.
Yeah, no, it's pretty impressive, especially India. I was just sort of having a look at the old New Zealand A series over there, and the talent that NZA have is pretty good as well. You got guys like Gaikwad and that Takor that can't make it, and all these guys can just clear the road. They just grow up with it.
Yeah.
The depth is ridiculous. The fact that India hasn't won an ICC event since 2011 is absolutely mind blowing when you think about it.
It's one of those things that sort of New Zealand with rugby. Well, maybe not so much at the moment, but always with New Zealand with rugby, our best 15 might not be if we went. If a tournament happened with your third best 11, fourth best 11, fifth, then India would start to clear it clean up. But when there's only you only need your 11 best to get a result, I guess it evens the playing field a bit.
100%. Do you reckon there's ever been a bigger parity of the value of two teams with that New Zealand A team versus the India A team? Surely a few of those India boys are millionaires a couple of times over in the IPL.
Yeah.
Well, how are they going when they going out for drinks? Eh? Surely they're shouting. They're shouting, eh? Surely.
Yeah. They're shouting the whole trip, hopefully.
Well, NZA are actually sort of going all right. They sort of drag. They only lost that 3. I guess you call it a 3-test series, 1-0, which is not bad. Obviously, Joe Carter got a few runs. They look like they're getting dusted up in the ODIs, but that happens. I think Joe Carter's got some more runs. Rachin Rinder's doing some things.
What's sort of the guts of that Joe Carter? He's seeming very impressive. How far away are we looking with the New Zealand setup?
He must be close. If he's got 200s in that 3-test series as an opener, it's not like Will Young and Latham are shoo-ins. Latham probably obviously.
I'll probably say Latham is a shoo-in to open the batting.
Yeah, but it's definitely if there was. I know there'd be some tours coming up in the subcontinent.
you're scoring a couple of hundreds as an opener in New Zealand cricket, you're always, you're going to be noticed.
Oh,
Yeah.
especially in India. Like, it's probably one of the hardest places to bat.
It's definitely especially if they're taking these sort of bigger squads with COVID. I mean, if you're taking 17 blokes on tour instead of 15, he's probably going to have a look in as that top 3 cover now, doesn't he?
It'll be interesting to see, like, when the Plunket Shield starts up, if he just sort of gets heaps of runs. I think if he starts the season strong, there'll be definitely some calls for his name.
Yeah, probably some different challenges in October in New Zealand compared to India, but I mean, we'd love to see that form continue.
Got to be a big confidence booster though, and then come back to domestic cricket. You probably
circles back to these tournaments pre the World Cup, I suppose. No matter what cricket is, winning's still winning, isn't it? Like if it's in India or Pakistan or wherever, as long as if you're playing and winning, you're sort of forming that habit a wee bit, aren't you? So,
right, boys, should we move on to we've got a couple of out and not outs. We had a late one that come through last night. Basically, we're talking Mankads. Let's be honest. It's very divides a lot of opinions. Everyone's quite strong either way. And now the Mankat has been in the news a couple of times this week. First, ICC moved the Mankat from the unfair section to the run-out section in the law book. And the Indian women's team just sort of took that and run with it. And one of the more controversial endings I've seen on a cricket field. England, 118 for 9, chasing 170. England dragged it back to 153, only needing 17 for a famous victory in what I believe was a record crowd at the home of cricket, ironically. And then Sharma decided enough was enough. Took the last wicket via Mankat. So, boys, with that, out or not out? On first, the last wicket of that game, just that in a vacuum, and also just Mankats in general. Where do you stand?
Yeah, on the dismissal from this game, out. What a disgrace. That was so poor. I think in terms of trying to Mankad someone and the way that it was done is that's not what the rule's there for. She was in her delivery stride, her back footed landed, she was fucking pretty much bowled that back onto the stump. So yeah, if you can't get a tail ender out, you cannot be going to the Mankad. Maybe it's a top you can use that on the top 7 batsmen only sort of rule. But shit, if you can't get the tail out, and it wasn't like England were 2 runs away, they were still a fair chunk. You've got to back your bowlers to win that still. So yeah, that one definitely very poor. In terms of in general, I sort of take a reason why we have sort of some rules in cricket approach, in that there's a lot of rules in cricket that are there so you don't get an unfair advantage. When they took out the leg side wides in one day cricket, for example, I guess to stop you bowling leg side so it's hard to score. If a batter's gaining an advantage by being out of that crease, fair game, rein them back in. They should be out because they are, every batter would love to charge a spinner first ball if they couldn't get stumped. If you're gaining an unfair advantage from it, fair game, get you out of there. The one the other night was just a joke. So yeah, and that one definitely out. In general, I think it depends. You can't be just trying to use that as your way to get a wicket. But fuck, if a batter's taking the piss, yeah, that's their game to play. And if they want to play it, run them out.
Yeah, I'm with you. The one from last night is sort of. I mean, I'm Stuart Broad facing anyone over 140. I'm out. That was that's nothing short of disgraceful, especially to win a game. The celebrations can't. I mean, it takes. The one thing I'll say is it takes some incredible guts and to do that. Because I'd feel like an absolute coward. But yeah, and I think the point that Jacko makes is if someone's consistently, especially in a tight game, half a metre, 2 metres down the track, and you're just about to bowl, then you've got every right to run them out. But it's a very rare circumstance, I'd say, when it even has to be done. But I think a little bit of onus is on batsmen to play in the spirit of the game as well, and wait till there's actually a ball hit or to start their run. So I think, yeah, there is very certain instances where if a batsman's taking the piss and running, and they're halfway down the pitch, you've got every right to run them out. And that's why the rule does need to be there. But yeah, in general, I don't like it.
And I think like in the spirit of the game, if you've noticed a batter is taking the piss, like you'll stop, not actually run them out, and be like, you do that again, and like I'll run you out, sort of thing. Like that warning that they used to have was a good sort of way because, and I guess it's again you're testing a boundary, but like, and again if it's a grudge match, just fucking run them out. But there's that sort of line that's always sort of tethered that you can let them know and say like, look, you're overstepping it without actually having to run them out. And I think that's where that sort of the opportunity of having that in the game is good, but that shouldn't be your like, fuck, I'm a pretty good Mankad bowler, eh? Like I get a lot of people that way. Like
it's just very backyard cricket, isn't it? It's very 100%. Just playing with you. That's what makes it sort of. It's a bit like it's one of those things where it's like it's a bit embarrassing that to show someone like that's how a wicket can be taken in the game of cricket.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Look, I've listened to you guys go around, and you all make very good points. But I'm just going to lay it all out now. I fucking hate Mankads. I do not.
Right. Good.
I just cannot stand them. I can't. I hate every argument for them. I think the only one I've come around on is that. Yeah, like if someone's consistently just like running like an absolute like idiot. Like just like you don't have to bowl it. Like you just do not have to bowl it, and they have to come back. Like they're not going to keep doing it.
100%, and that's where I reckon like taking that warning is like the right thing to do in that situation. And then if they stop, problem solved, sort of thing.
I haven't seen every single Mankat, but I guarantee, like 99% of these Mankats, they are not fucking hurling down the wicket trying to like steal the advantage. It's a classic case of. The bowler or the woman in this instance, they're decepting the person. They were like, if they bowled it, if Sharma bowled it, like her back foot was down, she was halfway through her delivery stride, and 100%. And this lady's bat was like, fuck, it might have been on the line. Like it's absolute. Like she wasn't trying. Like this whole the batters are gaining an unfair advantage is just. I don't know where it's come from, but I just can't stand it.
If you land. If you're like landing or as you jump, the batter's out of their crease by heaps, that's when it's like, okay, like time to warn them. But yeah, like as you said, they're not getting that far out. Like maybe like how many run outs are within like an inch, and it's like it it hasn't really mattered. So
every single Mankat has been out of desperation. Like no one just 100%. Goes like no one's like the bowlers, well, like there's no like imagine like a bowlers sort of meeting, and they're like, you know what. Fucking Lugsy's too good for us today. Like, let's just Mankat the son of a bitch. Let's just get rid of him. Like, that's our plan. That's our plan. No, it's like we can't. We are struggling. We just need something. How about we just Mankat them? Like, it's always desperation.
What do you reckon comes up first in the bowlers meeting? Should we put sandpaper in our pockets and tamper with the ball, or should we Mankat Dean Elgar on 100 red?
Well, I mean. Depends which team, I suppose. There's a certain side that would probably be going down the lolly section first before talking about Mankats, but we won't sort of touch on that.
Yeah, the thing is, the only thing as I touched on before is I wouldn't even, and I did say this to his pre-pod, is sadly I've got to admit to as a youngster doing this quite a bit in games. But this thing is it was never given out or anything. I just wouldn't have the guts to do it either.
Nah.
Like, unless I'm in my delivery stride and I can actually, out of the corner of my eye, I can actually see you're halfway down the deck. And it's like embarrassing. I don't even think I'd have the guts to do it just because I'd feel so silly.
Nah. I wouldn't even, like, in the history of playing cricket, I couldn't tell you where the non-striker has been when I've delivered the ball once. Like, they could be a metre out, they could be standing with the umpire, and I wouldn't be able to tell you either way.
I seen this argument the other day. It was ironically it might have been an Indian guy on Twitter. I think he was a commentator, and he said he was obviously trying to come to the defence of the Indian women's team, and he sort of said like, oh, if it was the World Cup final and someone was like an inch away from the non-striker's end backing up, and they made their crease by an inch to win the World Cup final, would you be okay with that? It's like fuck, seriously, like. If that's why you lost it, because you didn't Mankat someone, what was happening the rest of the game?
Well, low-key, getting back to that that ODI final we lost. I mean,
Yeah, is it? Does Guptill cost us that, did he, by not sneaking forward?
see, that's what. I mean, there's no doubt probably he was out. He probably did get a quick start on it and probably could have been Mankad. But
I think another thing that's going to stop me ever doing one is imagine Mankading someone and they're just fucking in their crease.
Yes, I was going to say. That's highly embarrassing.
That would be me done, I reckon. Like, you'd never play again.
And my only other thing would be like all these people that talk about, it's in the rules, Mankats are in the rules. Like, I want to see them put their money where their mouth is and just start taking 5-wicket bags with Mankats and just being like if you're not prepared to do that, then you know deep down that it's not right.
Yeah, 100%. And I reckon I was onto something there. You can't get a Mankat after the 6th wicket of a game.
Yeah. There does need to be rules on this.
Then that takes that, like, right, we're doing this, like, fuck, this is a last resort thing. It takes it out of contention.
Oh, that's a good one. Then you got guys just herring down the wicket.
Yeah. I was going to say there's a real problem there when guys are halfway down the deck.
That's tough. I guess there needs to be some sort of clarification on like if they're going to make it a rule. Like let's clarify the rules. Like I always thought it was if the bowler's back foot hit the ground, it was fine. Like they couldn't Mankat from there.
Yeah.
But obviously not. Or they need to just say like you can't be out of the crease until the ball's gone or something like that. But there needs to be some sort of clarification. If this is the world we're going to live in, let's make it a rule properly.
Yeah, you need that clarity, don't you? Like if it's as soon as the bowler like jumps, then you can start going. Like fair play. But I thought it was landing, and I thought it was like as soon as the bowler like basically commits to bowling the ball that it's done. And I reckon landing on your back foot in your delivery stride is pretty committed. But yeah, it needs to be tidied up a wee bit because fuck, that can't be happening at a World Cup.
I was going to say, will we see one at the T20 World Cup?
It was quite funny because apparently Ashram was like trending on Twitter because of that, and he had nothing to do with it, which is quite something. I guess the one positive is a lot of people talking, like a lot of publicity around the women's game, which is it's always good. Like
all news is good news.
All news is good news. Just look at the NBA lately. Yeah. So, anything else you boys want to touch on the Mankats, or should we move on?
Nah, I think we've covered it.
Too easy.
We probably spent too much time on it, if anything.
Yeah. Well, our next sort of out or not out is based around sort of player drafts and player auctions, etc. So, the Big Bash ran a player draft the other night, which was kind of interesting. I felt like it drummed up a lot of interest, but there's obviously a hole in that system when either the teams just don't want big names or they don't want to spend any money. Like the Scorchers sort of just didn't want to use their number one pick, which is like, imagine that in the NBA. Like, we just don't want to use our first round pick. It just that just wouldn't happen. And then the South African T20 League went for an auction. Obviously, IPL do an auction night the other day, which I felt was interesting, but mainly because the current T20 South African captain, Temba Bauvma, I hope I said that right. Anyway, he went unsold, which is quite something when you think about it, because imagine if we had like a Super Smash auction or draft and Kane Williamson goes unsold, or Joss Butler doesn't get picked up in the 100, or a Big Bash auction and Aaron Finch goes unsold.
Which you would.
I mean that's a bad example, but you get what I'm sort of saying. But anyways, like, what do we think about auctions or drafts? Like, are we a fan? Or I'm not sure I find auctions that exciting to watch, but I would love to see a draft night, especially on the Super Smash.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the draft. It's weird in these cricket ones because it's like, is Temba Bauvma just not play this like at all? Like, what's the go there? So he's been bent. I mean, it's tough. I suppose it's like when you're talking like leagues versus internationals, like the draft for a domestic league is always sort of going to be a bit how you going, because like it's not like they are building their team around a player. Like they're not like, right, we've been shit for years, we've finally got the first pick, we're taking LeBron and we build from there. It's like the Scorchers are like a bit of an institution when it comes to the Big Bash. Like they're like, fuck, our team's pretty good. Like, I mean, we can sort of pick and choose if we want to an international, and if they're the right one at the right price, we take them. If not, we'll be fine. So it's sort of that, like, there's no need to bring in extreme international talent and build from the top down, because these clubs are sort of built from the bottom up. But yeah, I mean, as a fan of American sports, nothing gets me going like a wee draft night. Just, you start to see how your team's going to look for the next year, and you sort of start to build from draft night into pre-season, and then the season starts. So, I mean, I'd love to see it for the Super Smash, and I think we've got some lists we're gonna read out after this around what we would think it would look like. But yeah, I'm all for drafts, but yeah, it's sort of a weird one in the cricket world because teams aren't reliant on the drafts for their top end talent.
You got to make it worth their while.
Yeah, 100%. Like if the Scorchers grab, I don't know, Liam Livingston, they're happy. If they don't, they've probably got another Aussie that they think can do a similar job. So, like in the NBA, if you don't get LeBron, you're not just developing LeBron sort of thing, are you? So, yeah, big fan personally, and like to see more of it if there was a bit more weight to having a good draft.
Yeah, I think as we all love our American sports, like the draft is such a big thing over there, but it's not like they're drafting, like other players that are already playing the sport, and it's always, a young player fresh out of college or high school or something like that that's going to change your franchise sort of thing. Like if, say, there was a complete reset, so Otago, Northern Dish, everyone lost their sides, and there was a sort of a draft night, and you had your whole team got redone. It was like a full reset. I think that would be unbelievable.
That would be huge.
Oh, it'd be big for the vault.
Yeah, or like even if it's not like there's a sort of a pool that come out of high school around New Zealand cricket, and they get drafted places. It just doesn't quite work with New Zealand domestic sport. It would be. I mean, a draft night could be cool.
There's not those defined levels in New Zealand sport. Like in the States, if you don't get drafted out of college and you don't really make a team, like there's not like other options. It's sort of that or bust. Whereas, I mean,
and like in general over here, because I think it's potentially could work in New Zealand rugby, because the way high school rugby's become such a bigger thing. But it's also not like, it's all, when you really, get down to drafts and shit, it's quite a weird thing that these guys just get there. I mean, they all want to do it, so it's fine. But like, it's just not as common that someone in Auckland would just get this 18-year-old from Dunedin and be like, oh, you live here now, you're playing for us.
Yeah.
Like they'd be like, no, I'm not, I'm playing for Otago.
Yeah.
So it's not quite the same.
Sport in New Zealand generally lacks that sort of clear middle ground, and like there's not that clear progression. Like you leave high school, you sort of play club cricket, you play A stuff anywhere, and then maybe you play for a district, but there's not that, like, if you don't play domestic cricket, you don't like leave domestic cricket and you're done with the sport. Like you can still play club, or you can still sort of play A cricket somewhere else, have another go. Like there's not those like clear defined roles. It's the same with rugby. Like if you don't make the Super Rugby, you're probably going to be in an NPC team somewhere, and it's not like you can just draft guys every year out of the NPC sort of thing.
Yeah. They've got to build it from the ground up, which is tough. And I just think like a drafts don't really work. There needs to be like weight behind it. Like it has to be like your pick, like your first round pick, like is franchise altering. Like if that's why the number one pick in the NBA or the NFL or whatever is a big deal. Like if you get LeBron James, if you get like Zion or Luka or something like that, like it can change the entire, like your franchise for the next 10, 15 years. Like that, I don't know how you replicate that in cricket. I think that's tough, especially cricket's probably not that sort of sport. But I think the best way we can sort of do it, so let's say, it's sort of like, it made me think, and I said, like, who would New Zealand Super Smash, who would the number one pick be? Like, let's just say, like, all the caps are available. Like the NZ Cricket have, like, they've said, like, this 2 month, or let's say 1 month, 2 month, or whatever, part of the schedule got no international cricket, and we want all our New Zealand players available. Everyone, like, there's money involved. We've got, the Mumbai Indian Tiger Volts are our first pick because they were last in the Super Smash. Like let's say it's like that, and let's pick like the 6 most valuable T20 players right now, I guess. And I really want to see like where Kane Williamson makes the list. Like
Yeah.
surely New Zealand captain makes the list, obviously, but does he? There's some good players. Yeah, so let's sort of do a first round hypothetical Super Smash draft. We'll use the standings from last year. So Tiger Volts have the first pick, and they could really use that pick just quietly. That actually could be franchise altering. To be fair,
Yeah.
So right, we'll start with you, Jacko. Let's say you're the new GM of the Tiger Volts. Who are you selecting with your first pick?
Probably deliberate this for about 7.5 seconds, and I take probably Trent Boult.
Okay. Fair enough. You want to make the case, or you sort of just the name speaks for itself? Or?
Yeah, I think Trent's probably shown in the last 2 years why he's maybe one of the best seamers in the world in the sport, let alone that in a domestic league. Yeah, I mean, he's world class, and I think in terms of like as well the drop off, like I think getting Bolt 1-1 versus maybe getting a better top of the second round, I'll probably happier with that combo versus getting a batter here and taking a bowler in the second round.
Okay, fair enough. Lugsy?
Yeah, first I'll touch on that is I think that's the right call. The one, I guess, I don't know how deep you have really gone into this. I haven't gone too crazy. Like, would you I suppose if you're doing this really seriously, you might factor in how many years. So maybe Bolty would slip there.
Yeah,
but I think he's still got to be the one pick. I did deliberate that in my head as well, and I was like, hang on. We've just seen what he done in Australia.
Yeah.
He's by far and away our best bowler, and then you make that at domestic level. He's probably you probably pencil him in for 3 for 20 off 4 each game, and sort of you can't ask for much more. But I will go. Don't know if this will be a shock or not, but I'll go first pick Michael Bracewell.
Wow, that is rogue.
Excuse me.
You just talked up Trent Boult for about 30 seconds, and then you've got Michael Bracewell.
Oh, sorry. Can I go this? I'm sort of picking my own. Are we saying Trent's still on the table for me?
Yeah.
We're talking just out like each person's like list of their their best cricketers.
Right, yeah. See, I had my top sort of 20 in order, so I had Trent off the board there because he's now playing for you.
Yeah, I did like that, but I'd love to do that one day.
Yeah, we could probably do something like that one day, but yeah.
Well, then, I've already banged on for 5 minutes for Trent Boult.
Okay, fair enough. So I was Trent Boult number one pick for a long time until I went and sort of deep dive a little bit. I actually looked at the Tiger Volts roster because let's just say like you go on the Black Caps and you put them into the current Tiger Volts roster, and I
don't know we've done that either.
Yeah, I was just thinking off the cuff, and I thought they could use some top order runs. They could use a guy that just churns out runs.
Big Conway fan. Our Munter's always been a Conway fan.
So I'm going Devon Conway just on the back on the base of like if he's churning out constant 50s every week, like
he's won Wellington a Super Smash or 2 on his own, basically, hasn't he? So yeah, it's not a bad pick at all.
I think it could be when we talk about franchise altering. I just think he could be that sort of player.
Yeah.
I've got like Bolts. Obviously, he's my number 2. So let's just say he'd be number 2. So I think that was pretty set. I don't know what you guys went for. Yeah,
I've got Conway going to the Aces at 2 as well, and I think as you said, I chose Boult because I thought he was better than the second round seamers essentially, and I think I could have got a batter close to Conway in the second round.
Fair enough.
Then I'll change it up with my number 2, and I'll go back to Braces. The points I'll make are the top run scorer in domestic cricket last year, and I think since then probably gained more experience and would be even more dominant. And then the way his bowling's coming along a bit as well. I think if you can get a guy that's going to bat up the top, potentially score the most runs in the comp and chip him with 4 overs, I think that's sort of all you can ask for in T20 cricket.
Three tool player, not bad, and good leadership too.
Yep,
exactly.
Very good.
Thanks for making. Yeah.
Very good point. I don't mind it. Didn't make my board, but that's okay.
Yeah, not on mine either. But shit, he might sneak in after that sort of.
Yeah, you talked me into it a little bit. So let's look at the Central Stags with the third pick. Jacko, who was your third pick?
And this probably is, a player of sort of similar 3 tool attributes. But the Stags will pick up James Neesham here. I mean, his closing ability is probably rare. I think he's striking at like 190 his last 8 innings in T20 cricket or like something outrageous. Good tools with the ball, sort of has that ability to bowl quick, can bowl at any phase. Good big athlete in the field too. So yeah, I think just that 3-tool capability, someone to build your squad around, especially in T20 cricket. You lock in your finisher. Neesham goes at 3 for me.
It's tough, eh? It's a good pick because he's quite valuable, and I think it's showing just by because he obviously got a bit of coin in that South African league, and people like him, they don't really grow on trees. Like he's sort of striking at about 220 just for the caps this year, which is quite something. I would probably I'm not convinced for his bowling. I think that's probably where he lets it down a little bit. Like he's handy, but I think he's a fifth or sixth bowler. You
do have to bowl 5 though in a T20 game, Matt.
True. But in the first round, it's
I just reckon like your finishes sort of like your express quick, isn't it? Is like not everyone's got him and everyone's sort of searching for them with the bat.
Yeah,
which is why I valued him so high.
Fair enough. Lugsy.
I've got Neesham. I had him down as my 4th pick. Mm-hmm. This is going to, I'm starting to think maybe, I was going to go Finn Allen.
Don't mind
so
it.
I've got him as my 3. I think, the idea of picking just the batsman, but yeah, I'm going to lock him in as my number 3. I think, again, I feel like now, based on this experience, when he comes back to domestic cricket, he's going to be he's already dominant, obviously.
He's going to light it up.
Yeah, I think he's going to really show the difference of like what an international player looks like when he comes back to domestic cricket after that experience. The way he looked against Aussie, I know he didn't score 1,000 runs, but more just the presence he had at the crease of how at home he looked. So I'd expect him to come back and sort of really dominate domestic cricket.
Yeah, like the pick a lot.
Yeah, you'll never hear a bad word said about Finn Allen on this podcast. That's for
sure. I
didn't
go 1 for you actually, Munter.
Fair enough. I guess to be fair, Lugsy actually brought up a point where I wasn't really taking into consideration, but age. Like if you're building a team around this person, like Finn Allen, like he must be like what 22, 23. Like,
yeah. The only concern is, like, does he play his 4 years on his rookie deal and get a max elsewhere?
Yeah, he's definitely like he might want to play like where is he going?
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to play in for the Stags. Yeah, for either.
Is that a big enough? Like he might want to go to the big city life. Like the LAs sort of thing, that sort of thing. So my number 3, I've actually gone.
Number 3, beautiful podcast.
Number 3?
Number 3. Oh, pretty free.
Imagine me trying to recruit someone.
Unbelievable. Anyway, so for the Central Stags, I'm going Glenn Phillips.
Interesting.
Mainly, I just think he is so destructive. I think he is probably one of the most important. Like he could be the Black Cats' most important batters at this World Cup. I just think he's so destructive, and he needs to bat. He needs to bat at 4 really for the Caps, but that's another sort of story. But he scores at such a rate that he can score so quickly on any given day, and he's incredibly consistent at the international level. I can imagine what he'd do domestically. Yep. He could sort of offer a little bit with the ball, potentially. Like he's probably not quite at the international level, but he could potentially give you a couple overs in the domestic level.
And big ground maybe. Yeah, he's not bowling at Pookie though.
Good point. And I just picked him for the Stags, so that's great.
Away games though. You've always got away games.
That's right. So that's me. So Jacko, Wellington Firebirds, you're on the clock.
And this is sort of a view I do have around first round talent is sometimes you've got to swing for the fences here. And that's exactly what Wellington will do. Oh, yeah. Have a real look at Lockie Ferguson at 4.
That's who I had as well.
Yeah, I think like you could look at it and go, fuck, a bowler only bowls 4 overs. And I mean, if they go for it, you've wasted your pick. But I mean, Lockie is a genuine game changer, especially in New Zealand cricket. Not a lot of batters probably see that pace very often. He's a guy who he might not be consistent enough, just because, I mean, that's the nature of being a bowler in T20 cricket, to get you into a final, but the sort of player that will win it for you. Which is why he goes at 4 for me.
Yeah, I completely agree with pretty much everything you said, and that's why I had him at number 4 also. Just, I mean, you've got a guy that bowls 150 Ks. Like, those guys they're so invaluable. Like, and he's got a pretty good slide. We've got a Yorker. Like, it's him and Trent so far ahead of every other bowler that if you can pick one of those bowlers up, like you're ahead of the game. It's like picking up like a Rashid Khan sort of thing.
Yeah, hugely.
The only pushback on Lockie I did have up there as well, though, would be, as Jacko said, if his 4 do go, which they certainly could in T20 cricket with him, it is very high to take a guy like him. But I think the upside, as you say, of him knocking the top off a team and winning you a game is too high to resist. I haven't picked Nisham yet, and I did have him as 4. So I guess I'll just stick with that and go. I think Jacko's already raised some good points on Nisham. Sort of the batting power he has, the bowling, as you say, I think the rep on him was, and from like other players playing with him, is his bowling's never sort of been where it should be in cricket. Like they say in the nets, he can bowl, really quick as well, and he just doesn't get the best out of himself with that. And maybe that was just a sort of decision from him to focus on his batting a bit. But yeah, I think if you can get a bit out of his bowling, and his batting's pretty crucial, he could win your games as well. I'll go him at 4.
Too easy. Canterbury Kings, Jacko.
Not sure. I think this is where we might see a bit of change coming. But again, I'm going a sort of a 3-tool player, and I'm going to go Mitch Santner at 5.
Okay.
Probably our premier white ball spinner, especially playing, and I didn't actually factor this in, but playing at Hagley on the big ground.
Good point.
That spin's going to become crucial. He's got a lot of room to play with. And yeah, valuable batting, probably definitely not as good a finisher as Nisham, but sort of could play that role. So yeah, to get arguably your finisher and your number 1 spinner here at 5, pretty happy.
Yeah, I think like the top 4, I felt like it just dropped off for me a little bit. And I basically had 1, 2, 3, 4. I had like 5 guys fighting out for 2 spots.
I was probably similar. I reckon the second round is where you get your value in this draft.
Yeah, definitely. And I've sort of weighed it up, and I thought I just value bulk runs. And I know he's not in good form. He's going to come right. He's got to at some point. And if he does, like, he could score just as many runs as Devon Conway.
Yeah.
And he's got leadership ability. Well, depending who you talk to, I suppose. But I'm going with Kane Williamson, and I'm hoping that the culture at Canterbury can sort of get the best out of Kane.
Yeah, don't hate it. I suppose we can release our sort of just off the board after, but yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, sort of 10 were all very similar skill, like importance at this stage.
Yeah, I full disclosure had Santner at 5, Kane 6, but I'm going to switch that around and go Kane as well. I think one of the, maybe this could look real silly. I mean, this is never going to happen, so it's not going to look silly. But there's a chance that if Kane goes back to domestic cricket, he just absolutely dominates, and you realise, like, just he is actually a lot classier than a lot of these guys, and he's just been playing a lot of international cricket. And like that step down, you'd see him just really dominate, work singles, work runs, hit the bad ball when he needs to, and show his class. So
yeah, I think it's not too far away from coming back in international cricket too, hopefully.
Yeah, it'll come at some point. It's got to.
Yeah.
Like, Coley come back, surely Kane can come back. And so I've actually got Santner. I mean, I don't want to talk about Santner too much. You've pretty much summed him up pretty well. I've got Santner at 6 for ND. Obviously the fielding. I do think his batting sort of never really sort of done the job at international level, but at domestic level, I think he could be quite dominant. And obviously he's our best white ball bowler, so I've got him at 6. Jacko, who have you got for ND?
Yeah, this was a real toss up between Kane and Finn Allen. But yeah, I think ultimately I had to go with Finn. As Crom sort of said, he's a ticket to the moon, and yeah, I just want my Northern Brave to jump on board, basically. So yeah, I think yeah, Finn arguably could have gone anywhere in that top 6. Like there'd be arguments he could go at 1, just that new toy batter that's explosive, sort of sells tickets, bums on seats sort of player. But yeah, I went him at 6, and then and I think the Volts bite your hand off at 7 for Kane.
Yeah, that'd be quite something.
Jeez, Bolt Kane's a very good draft from our Volts. We might be back.
We're back.
Just we'll quickly touch on those that sort of missed out, I guess. So I didn't have room for Neesham, Finn Allen and Daryl Mitchell were the guys that I thought were unlucky. Obviously, Michael Bracewell as well, pretty unlucky. Finn we've touched on. Neesham we've touched on. I just sort of valued top order runs over low order runs, I guess, was where I went. And Mitchell, I mean, for me, it was between Mitchell and Williamson. I think I tossed around those two. I think Mitchell could score bulk runs just as much as Colmay, just as much as Williamson.
Yeah,
and he's sort of handy with the ball at domestic level. Just a competitive sort of bloke, which you like to see.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, for me, I had, just looking at it, my second round goes basically Kane, Daryl, Phillips, maybe like an Ish Sodi, sort of that mystery spinner, Southey, Guptill. So a lot of talent to be had in that second round. If you can pair up your first round well, sort of Guptill. I mean, he's in the twilight of his career, but I mean, I think Guptill would have what you said about Kane of like coming back down and just deleting domestic bowlers. Just that hit above.
Finn Allen over him though.
Oh, 100%, yeah. That's my Finn Allen.
Finn Allen overall, yeah.
Finn Allen's actually captaining the Black Hats for me at this World Cup. So, like a lot of guys to miss out, but I think hell of an exercise.
I think, as you say, the second round was where the value is. You know, you're paying a bit less, hopefully, for a lot of these guys, and maybe they've got a real point to prove why they weren't taken in that top 6. And you touched on, I think Sodi would be a real interesting one to take.
Yeah.
Obviously, a spinner at domestic level that lands them as well as him, I think would be pretty hard to not take. Then, Daryl Mitchell, another one I'm glad we pointed out because he's just obviously had one of the great winters that had come back to domestic cricket for us. He'd probably be pretty dominant. So, there's a lot of value in that second round.
Starting today, you will play like winners, act like winners, and most importantly, you will be winners. If you listen and learn, you will win basketball games. And gentlemen, winning in here is the key to winning out there.
So this week on Coach Corner, sorry we missed it last week, so we'll get one in this week. So the question is, best method of catching and ways to train, reverse cut or hands down? So a bit of an age-old debate, I guess, and this is a bit of a cop-out, but there's probably not one answer because it's sort of like all different situation and really preference, really. So, like if you prefer hands down or reverse cut for high catches, you still kind of need to learn the other one for flat catches. Like if chest high, like you can't really sort of, you can't really hands down that. You're going to sort of cop it in the chest sort of job. So you're going to have to, you get one at the boots, you can't reverse cut that. Now on the high nut, I guess it's preference, isn't it? Like if reverse cut, I guess they always say that, it's safer because if you drop it,
you get 2 chances. You're dropping it the second time. Just catch it the first time.
I'd hate to see the percentage on, like if you could the regathers, like seriously.
And half the time it goes behind you, and you're actually less of a chance behind you, I reckon.
Like you've got to be really good at getting in position. Like if you're running or you're late into position, you kind of you're fucked really. Let's be honest. And like I've always been a hands down sort of guy. Just because you get that, you sort of can make some adjustments late if need be. But if someone feels comfortable reverse cupping, like I'm not going to tell them not to.
Nah, 100%. Yeah, I think the biggest, you've got to have both in your locker. Just purely, you just need to be able to catch both ways in terms of like ball angles, how it's coming, how close you're out of the rope. Does the ball change on you? Is Big Blue there? Like, do you need to sort of get a hand up there to cover stuff? So yeah, first of all, I think you really need to have both. You definitely need to train both because there will be times in a game where you actually do need one or the other, and one or the other is the right call. I'm the same as you, Matt. I prefer probably those hands down. I prefer my hands low as opposed to like reverse cup up above your head. And in saying that, the biggest key is you've got to get your hands up high enough so that they're in your eye line. Like you need to be able to follow the ball basically into your hands. It's when you do go your hands well below your eyes and there's a gap of sight between the ball and your hands as you're trying to catch it, because it might only be a few centimetres, but that can be enough to miss it or to drop it. That's probably the biggest one, is whatever one you're doing. Obviously reverse cup's easy to have your hands in your eyesight so you can watch the ball the whole way, but if you're going to go the other way, get your hands up high at least so that they're in your eye line, so when the ball does come down you can watch it the whole way in.
Yeah, I was going to say the big advantage for the reverse cup is obviously the eye line and the sight. So I think that's what is it. What have you found at domestic level, Jacko? What's taught more in general, or what are most guys going?
I think most guys will do a in front. I think it depends on like how you are moving. So like if you have to come forward to the ball, you're going to go hands in front because you're not going to run it with your fucking hands above your head. And if you're where you are or moving backwards, you'll go hands above your head.
Yeah,
that actually might be the best way to split it. But yeah, I think at that level, guys have like you've basically got to be able to catch 95% or higher with both. So it depends on how your body's moving as to whether you're going hands in front or reverse cup. Not preference at that stage, I think.
I think it'd be an interesting one to put to a poll actually, because I would have thought reverse cup would be the method of use by especially for the Skyer, by most of the cricketers. I never went for it because I was always afraid it would split the hands and go straight onto the dome.
Saying that before.
That was always one of my bigger concerns. Yeah. But to me, it does look classier and look safer. And like when a guy's just sort of standing under the ball, got the old reverse cup up, takes it nicely. It does look certain classy sort of to it. So I always was pro the reverse cup, just not at myself.
Just done well on others.
You've got to be very good at positioning. You've got to get, and I think that probably just comes down to like practice. I'd say that like the best way to sort of train it is you've just got to take like a multitude of different catches and just find out what suits. Because maybe if you get too used to a preference, you can sort of not like you can not feel comfortable with the other one. I think you've got to practice both. I think you really do, just so because you can't always catch hands down and you can't always catch hands up, that sort of thing. So that's sort of me. Yeah.
If you are looking at training it as well, do one session where you only catch reverse cup, because it will be you'll learn really quickly what ones you need the other one for. If you're like, fuck, I want to go hands down, but I've got to reverse cup it, you'll learn those limits a lot quicker. I think it's like if you're trying to learn the sweep shot, you just go in there and you try and sweep everything, and you learn quickly which ones you can sweep and which ones you can't. That could be a way you do it. Is you just go and you only catch one way, and you'll learn pretty quickly which ones you want to go the other way for.
Perfect.
It's interesting those ones in the grippers, that really fly around chest high, and you do see like Ricky Ponting was one of those guys that would sort of almost crouch a touch and still take some of them reverse cup.
Yeah,
I love it,
Yeah, it is, and that again, it looks real. I guess as Jacko pointed out at the start, the big one with the reverse cup is the eyes and how you can sort of watch it straight in there. It does look quite classy, I think, and the grip, the guy bends down and takes it.
Yeah, the Aussie cordon too, that ball's sort of always on the rise, isn't it? Sort of coming off the line. So you've got a reverse cup to meet that rise, whereas in New Zealand, if you're reverse cupping them around your ankles, you're probably just patting them into the ground.
You're almost verging on diving forward a lot in New Zealand rather than actually, waiting for them and getting them around here.
That's us for another week. Thank you so much for listening. If you like us, give us a rate and a review. And if you don't, well, don't bother. But seriously,
they can listen. They'll listen anyway.
Yeah, you're here. You're this far. Let's be honest. But seriously, we really do appreciate the support from our award-winning listeners give us. It's been a big week for TMC. We managed to get to the top of the South African cricket charts top 5 in New Zealand, in and out of the top 10 in Aussie. It's incredibly humbling, so thank you again. If you want this podcast to grow and you want early access to the podcast, check out the Patreon. If not, that's okay too. Thank you again for listening. Jacko, Lugsy, thanks again for jumping on, and we will see you again next week.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, boys.